1,000 metre racing for the 7th, and it's a good field this. It gets underway at 4:05 local time. It's a Class 3 over the 1,000 metres. California Deeply, second time down the straight for him. Run Cool's a 3-time course and distance winner. Pleasant Endeavour gets a £10 claim for Ellis Wong. Biddy Tycoon has the hood and the pacifiers with the cows off. Flying High is absolutely flying, but an extra £6 for that last start win. Kaying Spirit has his first start since January. Jumbo Legends coming back in distance. And Flying Dragon has placed 4 from 8 down the straight and gets that £5 claim for Victor Wong, Tom.
Might be Metro Warrior to lead this race up, but Kaying Spirit, he can certainly sit handy, and he's got the benefit of barrier 11. Metro Warrior to come across from the centre out of barrier 8. Pleasant Endeavour. Tomodachi Kokoro, he won't be far away there on the outside. He's drawn in barrier number 4. I thought maybe with a claim in barrier 10, they might try and be a little bit more positive if they can on California Deeply. Maybe if he can get in front of Beauty Tycoon, who's coming back in trip here to the 1,000 metres.
We're going to start though with an interview. Flying High is looking for 4 in a row, and the man that's trying to do it is his jockey, Matthew Chadwick.
Matthew, Flying High is a horse that you've had a great association with this season. He's now a 4-time winner. That was another strong win from him last time out.
Yeah, it was a really nice win. We're lucky everyone stayed off the rail. He got a smooth run through and he got the job done.
Talking of the rail, he's in 3 this time around, puts you more out to the centre. How much tougher does that make the task, do you think?
Well, I think he's in a good frame of mind. It doesn't really matter. We're on the C+3, so we're all going to be sort of out there. Tracks has been good enough in that sort of place in the last few weeks, so not too worried.
Matt, you're the only one that's won on him. He's won 4 times. He won off 50 back in November. What is it about him that's just aided him in this improvement? Because it's not an easy task for a horse going up in grade to rattle off a sequence like he has.
Well, it's just about him maturing, just getting his racing manners in order, and Chris has him in good nick, so he just did the rest, really.
I guess a career high mark now does make it tougher, but with that in mind, obviously, you say a horse that is in form, it can certainly count for a lot here in Hong Kong, can't it?
For sure, and we're getting to the back end of the season, so as long as he's been consistent and his form is holding, so he's in the right place, the mindset's correct, so fingers crossed.
He must have a very long neck, Matthew. His last 3 wins have all been by that distance exactly, so he doesn't win by too far ever.
No, we've got to time him correctly because he doesn't have a very long dash, so we just got to make sure he hits the line at the right time and not leave it too late, not leave it too early, so we just have to time it.
Matthew Chadwick on Flying High, a horse that Matthew knows well, Tom, is California Deeply. His best form has been at Happy Valley, likely tried at Sha Tin, did run second, and he's a horse that you've always had plenty of time for.
Yeah, you'd just love to see Tony Cruz maybe stick him up to 1,200 metres because he's always running on at the end. He's just a 2-time winner from his 8 starts. He's placed course and distance at his only 1 attempt. Of course, we've seen him at Happy Valley most of the time, but I think maybe if they're a bit more positive with him, if they can be, from barrier 10 with that advantage of being near the grandstand rail, that might suit.
And finally, Kaying Spirit, Tom, up at Chung Fa, he bolts in this trial and he beat Ninja Derby's the name of the horse. It's a length and a quarter he comes back to, but he's right down near the post.
He's a horse that goes well fresh. 126 days since we've seen him, and he provided Matthew Poon a few starts ago with his 200th Hong Kong winner. But look, I like the trial, and he was held up last time out. He's had a left 4 cannon bone injury, but fresh in a race like this, grandstand rail could be dangerous.
This is a good race, this one.
It is. It certainly is. Look, I like Pleasant Endeavour. We saw him through that replay a few moments ago. What I like about him, he's got a 14-pound turnaround with Flying High in this contest with Alice Wong's 10 pounds coming off. He's been able to win with bigger weights in the past. Got a bit tight for him at the 200 metres last time out, but was only beaten in neck. So with a really light weight, I think he'll be dangerous here at Pleasant Endeavour. California Deeply, Kaying Spirit goes in with his fresh record, and we'll see what Flying High can do with the big weight here, 131 pounds. He's certainly one of those horses that Matthew alluded to that sort of only got 1 sprint at them late. 3, 1, 8 and 5.
And post time for race number 7 is 4:05.